It's likely revealing that John Grisham's novel The Rainmaker, which has long been regarded as a critique of the judicial system at all levels, is still as pertinent in 2025 as it was when it was made into a feature film directed by Matt Damon almost 30 years ago. The story's core, a hotshot, big-mouthed lawyer taking on a massive, corrupt law practice in a case possibly worth millions of dollars in damages, is still present in Episode 1, Another Rainy Day, despite minor adjustments made to feel a little more modern in the USA version. This premiere begins with Dan Fogler, the Walking Dead, waking up in a burning building, and concludes with him inserting a syringe into an elderly woman's neck because, as is often the case with Grisham's work, there's more to it than a court case. Based on these two factors, it is unclear exactly how Fogler's character, a nurse called Melvin Pritchard, relates to what appears to be Season 1's major underlying case. We'll respond to him shortly. We'll go back to Donnie Ray and his mother shortly, just like we did with Melvin. Meanwhile, a little more about Rudy. His mother has kept his brother John's room immaculate as a shrine since his death. But Hank, his boyfriend, wants her to move on and turn it into a home gym. In addition to providing insight into Rudy's past, this is meant to introduce a crucial aspect of his character that will be emphasized later. He enjoys fighting. That is a literal struggle as it relates to Hank. However, we see that he is also incapable of avoiding a verbal altercation when he arrives late and covered in blood for his first day of work and quarrels with his new boss, Leo Drummond, a vile John Slattery, about whether or not people are treated equally under the law. Rudy ends up losing his job as a result. It's a little strange that a company that focuses on arguing on behalf of clients wouldn't like an employee who is prone to arguments, especially when he seems to know what he's talking about. Rudy is a wealth of information about domestic violence, which is probably something we should be aware of, but Leo doesn't like to be challenged. The dynamic between them is established when Leo tosses some fries on the floor for Sarah to obediently pick up when she tries to persuade him to return Rudy's job. He is very terrible. The Rainmaker Episode 1 really starts up with Rudy's abrupt unemployment, because the manager of the bar where he works introduces him to Bruiser, who is the partner of a small ambulance chasing company that operates out of an old taco restaurant and pays waitress wages. Deck is Bruiser's sole employee and is well known for failing the bar exams 7 times and collapsing under pressure. Rudy briefly, who is chained to a wheelchair in the hospital, when Rudy chooses to take on Donnie Ray's case in order to pursue a potentially enormous payment from his former employer, he reappears after being swiftly snatched by another attorney. It comes out that one of the nurses who cared for Donnie was Melvin. It is evident that there is a serious problem when the premiere concludes that Melvin is a killer. There is a bone in the dog. Regretfully for Rudy, Sarah is not only employed by the company he plans to fight alongside, but she has also found herself on the account of Wilford Keeley, the CEO of the hospital where Donnie passed away, because of her odd ability to remember the opening line of every book she has ever read. This implies that Rudy will be facing Sarah head-on if he accepts the case. I have a feeling that their relationship won't last beyond this argument, which is probably for the best given Sarah's unimpressive initial impressions as a trust fund child who is openly critical of Rudy's shabby loft, the fact that a mysterious vaping woman appears to be following Rudy, or even Melvin, and was once watching Donnie Ray's mother adds to the mystery. Although it's now impossible to determine how everything comes together, there are enough intriguing pieces to imply that putting the jigsaw together will be enjoyable.